It's probably actually paperback fiction at the moment, or it has been, but it's going up to the sort of vintage and antiquarian, much more interest in that I've noticed recently, yeah.
Why is that?
They're very beautiful. They hark back to sort of olden times. They're very beautiful and lovely to have around you in your home. So they're sort of very evocative. They remind you of different things. They are the sort of designs of the covers are not what you see these days. They have very warm, beautiful colours and tones, and very, very pretty sort of pictures or text on the spines. Yeah. Absolutely. So from the first lockdown back in when it started in March, we experienced, not for the first month or two, but after the first month, I think when people had realised that it's a little bit more serious and we're going to be at home for longer than we originally thought, people then started to think about their homes and also how they're presenting themselves in their video conferencing, which people were sort of starting to do and having to adapt to. So that's where then we saw a surge of interest for people in their office studies to put the books behind their shelves. So they'd send me before shots of their office and their shelves beforehand, which looked kind of empty and a bit boring. And then they'd say, I like these colours, I like these subjects.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, so since the first lockdown, so that's back in March, we have seen an increase in sales, not for the first month, but after that, when people realised it was serious and they were in it for the long haul, and they started looking around their homes and thinking we need to make it feel comfortable, and also professionally when they're on their video conferencing, wanting to make their office study and how they present themselves look professional and smart and appropriate. So after about the first month, that's when we noticed these kind of things increasing. So they'll send us pictures of their shelves, their empty shelves, but behind them where it looks boring and empty and a bit, not very nice. And then they might say to us, I'd like these colours or this type of book. And I really like these subjects, this kind of thing. Can you help us? So I say yes, and then we put together a really lovely order for them. And then sometimes they send us the after shot as well of their office, and it looks fabulous. So yeah, it's lots of fun. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, that's a major part of the business. So we have set designers, set decorators, either for TV series or films, who will contact us, and they will have very specific requirements. So it'll be either era specific, because it's being set, in the 1920s, 1930s. So the books have to match that set. It'll often be tonal, because obviously I'm dealing with very creative, visual, artistic people, and they know the kind of tones that they want. So that can be to a subtle degree. So you could be talking about eggshell blues and jades and soft pulled back colours, or whatever it is they're wanting the set to look like. And often they're subject specific, and they will also ask for what they call hero books, or what I would say would be feature books. And we also can do that because we've got this kind of beautiful room. So if they're looking for books that want to stand out or are going to be featured majorly in the shot just behind the actor, then they also want those kind of books. So yes, we've done quite a lot of that. Yeah.
That sounds amazing. So
in what way do you mean? In terms of entertainment or?
Yeah, just because for the TV set, that they need the book to create
I see yes,
atmosphere.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't want to be presenting your business kind of presentation to your boss, with your ironing board and your cat jumping all over the place and a kind of plant that's dying or something, do you? It's not a good look. So I think so, definitely. You want to be presenting something that's coherent and makes sense with what you're saying. Otherwise, it's a distraction. So yeah, definitely.
Right. So who are your clients, and what are those requirements that they put into you?
Who are the clients that are wanting the books for the Zoom and the video conferencing? You mean?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so they're ranging from teachers who are finding themselves at home or they want to either have the books behind them, but they also want to use them for their lessons. To engineers who obviously, just that was an example. We've had one of those customers wanted to present himself as a professional, which he is. So he just wanted to kind of like up his kind of status slightly with his books. We've had world travellers who are obviously feeling stuck a little, so they wanted because they're stuck at home and that's not what they're used to. So we've had people like that who wanted books to reflect their travels basically, and also all the sort of artifacts that they've collected from around the world and all the different colours. So that was a really exciting order to put together for one particular person. We've had CEOs who kind of want the books behind them, and we've had a major person in government also who also wanted books. Yes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. From teachers to self-employed people through to CEOs up to major people in the government basically have ordered books from us. Yeah. Yeah, they are asking different things. So if they're teaching literature and drama, then they're going for those kind of books, and it's more subject-based. Mostly the ones that are for Zoom are subject-based, but that doesn't mean that they don't consider colour. It's quite surprising how many also want to talk about the colour of the books that they're going to have in there. So we've had someone who's interested in architecture, someone who's interested in drama, like I said, a lot of art, that's very popular. History is really popular, and politics. And we do some sort of unique yards. So we were doing some engineering and mechanic unique yards, and so we had someone who ordered quite a few of those. So that's quite niche and quite specific to what they do, yeah. I think the most interesting one was the world traveller, because he basically sent me photos of all the artefacts that he'd collected throughout the world, which was amazing, especially when you're in lockdown and you can't travel. So it was very pleasurable for me to see all the different exciting, unusual things that he had, and some of them were really weird and colourful and extraordinary, and lovely. So. And I was basing the book collection on those artefacts. So that was the most unusual and, for me, most exciting one to have done in the last year. Yeah.
That sounds really interesting.
So yes. So obviously, the look is important, and the sort of visual effect, and what the feeling is that gives you when you're surrounded by books. But obviously, it's also important for people to have books that are to their tastes and to their interests, because that's what you want to know about, isn't it? So that's what you're going to read. And it may not be that they read every single one of those books that they're sent, but you know how lovely it is to be able to have a library and to be able to pick off a book here or there and to read either the whole book or little excerpts of it. And if it's a subject that fascinates you, like art or poetry or politics, then that's just really lovely to have those around you and surrounding you. Yeah.
I love it. It's just that sound.
I can hear it, yes.
They're unloading a lorry out there.
Oh.
They won't be